Welcome back, everyone.
Oh,
Apparently, Ollie hates me.
oh no.
That's okay, because he's gonna die in this next hour.
Well, as long as my drone lives on, that's the closest thing Rockwell's ever going to have to a child, so...
Scott's gonna be like, fuck you, and your
Fuck
little
your
drone
drone.
too.
Yeah. Rockwell's going to live long enough to see the drone get crushed by a Krogan just in its hands. Crunch.
Oh, before getting blown to bits by my shotgun, just like, bap, it's gone now. There's not even small bits left you can memorialize it with. It's just gone.
It's just gone. Alright. Good. We're good. We're on Tom. We're on not planet
like
Tom.
It's
City
gonna be like that scene
Tom.
from Monsters Inc. You know where he thinks he's seeing Boo getting crushed? It's gonna be that scene, him just going, oh, no!
And then I do another exert roll and just like tumble with a Krogan for a while.
That won't end poorly.
Wow. So, you guys. So, after everything's checked and you guys get off of the Stalingrad and go to the meeting, the gentleman you spoke with on the phone on the comms, he will not meet with you outside because that puts him within range of your weapons, and that'd be foolish. So he has you go into his facility to meet with him, but it's only the three of you guys that go there because, as the captain says, it's your mission. So you guys are making your way towards the into the facility where you meet him. And so right outside the facility, there's the double doors. There's a turret that sits over the facility, and it's sitting there, and it's kind of doing like an oscillating movement back and forth that's looking. But once again, just kind of like looking at this turret, you could see this is an older model of turret. This is like one of the first generations of turret that the Alliance came up with, or maybe even pre-Alliance came up with beforehand. I mean, it's considerably old. So that being said, it's one of those things where you're like, I don't even know if this thing could, because like usually a turret is like a heavy weapon, and heavy weapons are scary as fuck for personnel. You're like, I don't know if this thing's much more frightening than a what's it called? A modern day assault rifle that you guys have. You know, it's just like, it's just so weak compared to the weapon that's inside, Carmine's hands at all times. So that's one of the things that you guys notice as you go walking in. As soon as you go walking in that door, and of the 20 soldiers that stayed out on the dock, that went out to the dock, about 15 of them stay around the ship, and 5 of them come walking in with you guys, where you're met on the inside by 7 more, and what must have been the guy you were speaking with on the phone. This guy is older. He looks to be maybe in his early to mid 50s. He's kind of haggard looking. His uniform is the only one out of all of them that looks to be new and crisp and unharmed whatsoever. And it's in the same green and brown colors and whatnot. It looks to be what would be an old school general's uniform from the older Alliance military stuff. And he's standing there and he's looking at you guys. He's like, oh, well, I can see which one of you is Alina, and I can definitely see which one of you is Lena. But, which of you numbnuts is going... Yeah, all right, there we go. Rockwell. So, how are you going to find this thing? These
Out of
terrorists?
curiosity, is Fat Stack of Meat with us, or did he stay with the ship?
Oh,
He's long gone, right?
he's one of the 5 that's with you guys.
I was going to say,
I flash him a
he's
smile.
a named character. He has
Yeah.
to be with us now, right?
Yeah.
I call him Tiny Tom.
Well, there's the Pernian information. If you would be willing to give us some intelligence about any strange activities in the area that don't make sense to the strange and unusual, nothing to do with your standard trade disputes on the planet, things that are completely strange, anomalies. But otherwise, we'll be doing scans from our ship to find said anomalies and follow them with personnel teams.
So, you don't give a fuck about the nuclear weapons going off or the moon that's going ape shit.
I take a look at these two, or particularly Carmine. I sort of glance towards my back at the sniper rifle and I say, we really don't give a shit.
We're not here to solve your disputes. Perhaps if you do wish for that, you should send formal requests to Alliance send some formal pings to the Alliance asking for assistance and pledging allegiance, but that is not why we're here. We're not here to make allies. We're here to catch criminal scum.
All right, criminal scum, terrorists, whatever it is that you're looking for. I ain't taking in many people off of the planets into my place in a long while. Now, due to expansionism, I'm sure you get it. Due to expansionism, we have others that are flying my banners now. Is that maybe what you're looking for, the outskirts?
Outskirts is definitely more where we were going to be looking than this wonderful city we're in now.
You look past him and you just see you're still inside this facility, so you can't see the city itself.
I know, it's part of the thing. We'd have flown down and seen it from like the window.
So he's like,
yep, that is a city.
You need some research with
lots
Google
of
Maps.
plumes of smoke, I imagine.
so you just come here to give me the nicey nice and to say we're not here to bug you, and then you're just gonna head out to my outskirts?
Yes.
Look,
you don't want interstellar terrorists on your planet any more than anyone else, because if we're not going to come here to deal with them,
Listen, I just
someone
know
from the
that
Citadel is going to come here.
if
to
you're
deal with
going
them.
out to the outskirts, you ain't taking your shuttle to do it. You're gonna be taking one of our drop ships, all right? You're gonna be taking one of our drop ships, because I don't know what you're hiding inside your shuttle or who's paying you to come here and do what.
That's absolutely fine. Your dropships look like lovely craft.
Ah, and your ship over there doesn't even look human.
You just haven't caught up with current human engineering techniques.
You saying that my people are stupid?
No, fashion changes around the galaxy. This is current Alliance style. Honestly, I kind of prefer your older models.
Uh-huh. You smell like you got some alien scum on you.
I did wrestle a Batarian someone recently. The stink hasn't got out yet.
Making trades with them now, are ya? He says, looking over at Lena's weapon.
My personal property is none of your business, and if you would actually be as inclined to look properly, it's actually Turian made, not Batarian.
Imagine the great irony of using alien-crafted weapon to secure the place of humanity's future in the grander galaxy. We're merely using what we can.
You dislike aliens, I see.
This is the humans' galaxy. The fact that they happen to stumble across us just means that we need to put them back in their hole. That's all.
We'll take care of them when the time comes. Don't worry about that.
Listen, I understand that you can't kill all the roaches, but it doesn't mean they can't be in the walls. Understand? All right. We're going to search the three of you to make sure you're not smuggling anything untoward into my cities. And then we'll have you dropped out on the outskirts so you can start your little searchy search for your terrorists. Now I have to ask you a question. Let's say you come across these terrorists. What's your course of action from there? He says as he signals people over to start patting you guys down.
Termination.
Just so you know, little T, he poignantly goes over. He's one of the people wave to. He poignantly goes over and pats down Rockwell, not Carmine. Your termination. Oh,
Yeah.
so you want to come into my city and kill my citizens without giving me any form of a heads up?
I
They
guarantee
won't.
these people we might be terminating are not your citizens, and you would
They're not
want
your
to.
citizens, and if any damage does happen to your city-states, then you can formally request to the Alliance to have it repaired. There are programs in place for such thing.
Sounds like another opportunity for them to bring down more shit. I don't know. Yeah, I'll give you freedom to execute, but understand this. You do something wrong, it's your head on the chopping block. You understand that?
Oh, of course.
No, I don't think you understand. When I say it's your head on the chopping block, there ain't no way this ship is getting back off this planet.
Do
That's
we look
fine.
like the kind of people where we do things wrong.
As he looks,
Does she look
as
like
he,
the kind of person that does things wrong?
as he looks at your non-human make weapon, he goes, "I see some flaws in your judgment." And once they're done patting you guys down and kind of like just saying out loud that they found grenades or whatever it is along the way, nobody really says anything. Do me a favor, please, because all three of you can make me an intelligence no check or intelligence lore check. My apologies.
God. Ooh.
Ooh, come on.
Carmine,
I did
you
it
come,
good.
and it's probably a good thing that Carmine's the only one that makes it. Carmine comes to the realization as they're patting him down and looking at things and calling out the various things on him. One of the things that they don't call out is the type of model of Omni tool he has. And as he's doing this and kind of taking in the what kind of stuff that they have around them, he comes to realize Omni blades were invented after this technology was. They have no fucking clue what an Omni blade is. Oh shit. And so that's actually kind of a non-observed weapon that you have, you know, that they are 100% not aware of. So you can keep that information to yourself as they finish checking you guys and then loading you up onto a dropship. So he's walking with you as he's loading up onto a dropship. He's like, "So how long do you expect to be here on Tom?"
These things could take from hours to weeks. Hopefully, no more than a few days.
You bring enough food to take care of yourself? Or am I going to be feeding you too?
If we need food from your city-state, we will be paying.
You think that we're looking to sell stuff to you?
That is just a very basic, food for money. It happens all over the galaxy.
I step in and say, considering pretty much all the equipment that I'm seeing here is aligned mid, I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss the Alliance and its technology, considering ours is actually better than yours now.
Yeah, I get it. One point in time, cars got faster, then ships got faster, then guns got faster. I don't give a shit. You're still made out of meat and bone, and these are still bullets. All it takes is a shot and you're dead, Missy. So you can run your
You'll
mouth
have
if
to
you'd
find
like.
me first.
Oh, I can see you, and I promise
Enough
you I won't stop
foreplay.
looking.
Enough foreplay. Come on, we have terrorists to kill. And just hop on the ship.
And and you guys get onto the ship, and he's watching for a little while. It's like he's like, after you get onto the ship, you're waiting for the doors to close, and he's watching for a considerable amount of time. Like he's kind of rolling something around in his head, like he's trying to come to a judgment call. At the same time, coincidentally, he's also rolling around probably a little bit of chew or something in his mouth too, and eventually he just kind of comes to whatever conclusion he was thinking about coming to, and looks to who the pilot was and gives a nod, and then you can see like the drop doors drop over, like I said, that was a weird noise. Drop over the and drop and shut in front of
It's
the,
a little bit of a wet ship, is the whole thing.
I thought we were done with the
This is right.
foreplay, but okay.
Yeah, it just rained. No, so and then
Haven't seen it for a while.
the thing closes up. Aside from the pilot and co-pilot of the dropship, there's only one other soldier that's there with you. None of them are little T, so you don't have to worry about that.
Is it the woman?
The woman is actually the pilot of the ship.
Because I'm a woman. Imagining that woman has just a big scar like that. That's just in my mind's eye right now, and I think she's going to be a boss fight, and I'm looking forward to it. But then in Stars Right Number, I don't think there's such thing as boss fights.
If she does,
Humans
if she
would
does
go-
have a
fight.
scar, it's hidden underneath her helmet, so you don't know yet.
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. So they take off and start like, because his boy Elroy, and no, so it takes off and starts flying. These ships are of course are completely silent. These are actual drop ships, or mostly silent. These are actual drop ships. So they take off and start flying towards the outer rim. Do you guys look to speak to this random NPC that's with you as well, or do you keep completely silent?
I'd probably toss a glance to get a general gist of the equipment and whatnot, but I wouldn't like strike conversation or anything.
Okay. You, Ward, or no?
Yeah, I'd pretty much do that with everybody. I even did that with Garman once. I tend to just get inside of him. See how obnoxious he is, if I can.
Okay. So, you can do the stare down and all that stuff, but he just kind of he's just not going to interact with you guys if you don't speak directly to him. The ship flies for a bit of time to get to the outskirts. Apparently their land that they control is rather big, because they are able to, it takes you a while to get there. And this thing, while it's significantly slower than the ships you guys usually use, are still faster than modern day transportation, right? Modern day jets and whatnot. So it takes a considerable amount of time to get to the rim of what is their plot of land that they own. And eventually they go down, and you can see that this area is a bit worn-torn when looking out of the windows that they have there and looking down. You can see the area is a bit war-torn because of like scorch marks on the ground and burn marks over there and da-da-da-da that's all around. Off in the distance, you can see an area where a huge, just big area of just no, like, so there's greenery, and then a huge area where there's just zero plants whatsoever. All of you guys can very quickly come to the realization that that's probably where a nuke hit over there, and then just the radiation spreading outwards and destroying all of the foliage that was beyond there. So you can kind of see that off in the distance. You're not going directly there, but not terribly far away from it, which makes you wonder about which border you're on. And so finally the thing comes and, you know, lands just in the middle of like an open field. And as the thing goes to land, the doors open up, and the guy that's standing in there, the single guy that's standing in there with the three of you for that long flight that you had, he hands to you just kind of like a little signal giver. It's again old Alliance stuff. It's almost like an old tracer beacon that you would press, and it has an extremely long range, sometimes interplanetary, depending on how the sats are set up. So more or less, he hands it to you, and you guys can instantly know that this is an old way of saying like, "Come pick me up," and it gives like a GPS as to where you are and blah blah blah.
Great.
So. You guys make your way to the out of the ship and look around, and once again you can see in this small little, we're gonna call it village, that's here, is completely fucking worn-torn. I mean, like, there's huge chunks of trees that are missing over there. There's like half blown apart buildings off to the side. There's areas where there's still just like splatter on the walls and everything, but despite the fact that this looks like a third world country torn apart by very recent warfare, despite that fact, there are people walking about and just going about life, you know, moving goods from here to there, or walking. Some of them kind of like look towards you to see why it is that you arrived, what it is that you're doing, and when they see you guys step out, so they're kind of like, I don't know. Then when people actually see you stepping out, Alliance military stepping out, they kind of like stop and look at you like you're aliens, like they don't know what they're looking at right now.
If only they knew.
So that being said, there are a handful of people, I'd say maybe even upwards 24 people spread out throughout the area, that are just full-on gawking at you guys and how different you look to what they expected to get out of the ship. And the ship takes off and flies away.
Lovely neighborhood.
Yeah. Seems like the people don't quite know what they're looking at. I stared at one of them.
They haven't seen Alliance for generations. And the uniforms were a lot nicer back then.
They do like to bash the Alliance a lot, given the fact that they're flying around in pretty much everything Alliance.
Every rebellion hates the person they rebelled against, even though they're basically just a bastardized version of them.
Fair enough.
That's right, fuck England.
Oh, did you get the subtext there?
Oh, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So, Rockwell,
time to
what do
begin.
we, what's first?
We need to more or less scan the nearby area, make sure Batarians are obvious. If they're wearing helmets, their helmets are far higher than a human's. Anything strange, it's probably them, and if it's nothing strange here, we go on to the next place, and the next place. This isn't going to be fast, unless we're very unlucky.
By the way, I toss a quick glance around while saying that, just to be sure that no one's within like hearing distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I tap my wrist. They didn't pick up on that one.
Now that's interesting. That's valuable.
It was, of course, introduced after they split.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the extremely likely situation that we have to fight our way out of here, shall we get moving?
Yeah.
Yep. Batarians aren't gonna wait around for us.
Alrighty. So, and like you start moving, little drone moves along and it's like, so Lena, how do you find an alien on a planet?
Look for the west, shithole.
I mean, you don't have
Makes
to look
sense.
very far for that. The locals do enough of that.
The worst, Carmine. These are bad.
know.
We need the worst.
I know, you don't have to
Going
tell me
by
anymore
our,
after last time.
So because there's only half an hour left in the session and so it's the perfect time, I'm going to use my connected level 2 ability to find, you know, a knowledgeable folk in the city, you know, someone that is less against the Alliance, someone that, you know, like almost crazy old man that keeps a lot of intelligence, but probably like old war vet mercenary leader or something like that. You know, someone who just would have watched and would have noticed something weird. Please and thank you, Scott.
So I will gladly do that for you, but I want you to describe for me your means of finding this connection.
Like Lena said, I imagine we would just go to. There's probably like a big main street, right?
Drinking holes.
Drinking holes, yeah, exactly. We'd be going and going, probably go up, maybe go back down again. Very quickly use my drone to just be like, sweep of heat signatures, just be like, where are the most people right now? And then go to like the third lowest amount of people, and there's like a drinking hole or something like that, you know? Go to a bar that's kind of out of the way, that kind of thing.
Okay. So you do exactly that. So you're going to go and find the heat signatures and whatnot. Before you really delve into it, I'm just going to take a moment to describe the interactions with the peoples here. Most of them genuinely, like, when you guys go walking close to them, when you guys finally actually get close enough to interact with them, they are surprised to see that you're human. So it's one of those, like, you kind of landed down, you had your helmets on, and you look around and you see
Imagine we wouldn't look human to them, would we?
this is not an immediate danger. You can open your helmets up and they'd be like, oh, they're humans. Okay.